as the redness around your eyes, Grog, begins to kind of grow a little bit, you feel, well, what kind of combat-enhancing drugs have you taken in the past?
Have I taken in the past? Well,
Yeah.
I've probably taken the kamikaze.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean, cram
I
barely
can't
counts
remember.
as a drug.
Yeah, cram is like a 5-hour energy drink. Doesn't really do much of anything. So I'd probably say the biggest one was kamikaze that I've taken in the past.
This feels kind of like that. Your heart is racing, not as much as Kami would, but you're a big hardy troll now, so obviously it's to be a little different. Um, but you do have that feeling, and then there's this aggression behind it.
So I'm angry.
Yeah, you just
Nothing overly new about that.
get
But
that thought about your old friends and
Ooh.
their
what they
plots.
did. Yeah. So yeah, I'll mention it. Obviously, I'll explain what I'm feeling. No, I wouldn't. This is exactly what I'll be doing. My hands will start opening and closing. My shoulders are going to kind of lift up a little bit, so it's not like I'm standing casually. I'm tensing up. You can see that the veins on my neck are visibly kind of bulging as I'm looking side to side, and you keep hearing me muttering Simmons and Claudia, and they're gonna pay, and I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna have to rip open their
You're
skulls.
you're in such a small space right now.
And I mean I'm looking both at the door that you had told me there was in there, and then more of the openness of the garage area that actually let us in there. And I'm going to turn and start marching almost with a purpose out to the outside.
So that was a perception test I just threw up there. I was just kind of curious. I'm watching this dude like start muttering underneath his breath, and he gets up, and I'm like, "Oh, is he gonna die?"
I mean, he doesn't seem like he's about to explode like the other guy was.
Oh,
Am I feel? Is it hot? Do I feel hot?
Maybe
Or is
a
it
little
just more of my blood boiling type thing?
more of like a blood boiling warm kind of thing.
Okay, so I'm not actually physically hot.
Yeah.
All right.
I would assume flushed, but not like.
Flush would be a good word for it. Maybe like the longer it goes on, maybe a little bit of a sweat breaking out, just because like you can feel your heart kind of, and it's pushing all of that blood around, so you're gonna heat up a little bit, but
Not wanting Grog to run away and commit daylight murder. Tilt's just gonna like kind of out of. He has like what, like a 4.5-foot arm span, like reach. I would assume 1.5 meter reach. He's
probably
large.
substantial.
Who?
I'm
Me or
gonna keep you.
Tilt?
Yeah.
It's whatever your
Tilt's
guys'
like,
reach is +1. Trolls have the +1 reach.
yeah.
I mean, I'm 9'6".
Yeah, so you should have like a 9'6" arm span. Cut that in half, roughly. That's how far I would assume one arm would go. I'm gonna stay like 2 feet away from the he can immediately turn and right hook me in the face sort of distance. But close enough that Tilt can talk to him. And he's just going to try to like negotiate with him and be like, hey, man, I know that you're feeling like you need to murder those guys. And I'm totally down for murdering shitheads. But how about let's do that another time? Like, let's get together right now and let's think about a way to get back at them that's even worse than just beating them up, right? If we turn all of the people against them, making them think that they turned on their organization, that's a lot worse than anything you can do right now. Because that's not just beating them up. That's beating them up and making basically what happened to you happen to them. And then after that, maybe we can just go and get some big teeth put in their mouths or something just to really screw with them.
What happened to me happened to them. That's
Of
not
sorts.
that's not possible. You don't
Hey.
get it. I was them. Magic made me this way. They left me to die.
So what we do, right, is we make everybody that likes them hate them, then beat them up and leave them to die, right? And then we kick them in the nads a lot, and that's gonna really hurt. And I mean, I don't know. Then we can sell them to a Bunraku parlor or something. You know, it'll be fun. We'll have fun with it. You can't do it right now though, because we have other things we have to do, and I would very much not like to have to run after you and pray you don't kill somebody right now. Business is business, friend. Pleasure is pleasure. We're a business time down.
Or we could go kill them.
You are not helping me right now, Jurgen.
Fair
You're
enough.
not helping me right now, Jurgen. Shut up. Shut up and go tend to the unconscious man. I'm gonna need him. Probably to put back
He'll wake
together
up
the
when he
people
wakes
he's gonna
up.
rip apart. You know, right, Grog. It's that if we do this on business time right now, right, when we're supposed to be out there doing something, this is gonna come back on us in a bad way, mate. On a bad way. We can't just go out killing people. If we wanna not, right. I get that putting this would be bad. What we are asked to do, this would be very bad, and I do not think that we should be doing this. But we should also not let him think that we should not be doing this. That would be very bad. And it would be even worse if you go back there and you tell him or fist him in the face other things. We have reputations. We have to orchestrate things. We have to get on the next level up and then let us control them.
I look down. I'm going to put my hand on Tilt's shoulder. Little man, you talk too much.
He's going to shut up right then.
How long is this burning feeling, the adrenaline rush lasting with me?
You only took a little bit, right? That little tiny bit.
Yeah, I would. Like I said, I'm not going knuckle deep like old boy, like the human was.
So we've been going probably like a full minute since you were in the high part of it.
Okay.
So shortly after that, you might start to come back down. Perhaps as you're just, very tensely squeezing Tilt's shoulder.
I don't want to break his shoulder. I don't want to break Tilt's shoulder.
Well, thank you for that.
I'm
Tilt probably doesn't deserve it.
I'm trying. Yeah,
I'll told me to shut up. I think he deserves a broken shoulder.
I'll visibly like close my eyes, taking deep breaths. I remove my hand from your shoulder, and like that. Explain the vision of the red blurriness encompassing my vision. The feel like I was on a jacked up version of Kamikaze, if you will. And yeah, if this gets into a batch of something that metas like I would drink, that has the potential to be extremely riotous.
Right, Raging Knight. Wonderful.
It's probably what they intend. They want to dose their brew,
Yeah.
and then cause them to go act like the animals they keep saying they are.
All right. So Tilt's going to think this over for a minute or so. And then he's going to come back with, first things first, that's ours now. That's our murder drug. We're going to need that at some point. That's ours. That's not leaving us. We're hiding that somewhere. That's going to be important someday. Not now, but someday. Right? That's the first thing. Second thing, we need to find a drug that does some of the things that does and some of the things it doesn't. We need to find a happy drug.
Kamikaze, like I said, would probably be the closest thing.
Not
that's what I
kamikaze. Well, this is the thing, right? I want it to do a lot of the physiological symptoms. Well, I guess out of character. I want it to do a lot of the physiological symptoms, but not the psychological symptoms more so. Something that can mitigate the murder rage and enhance, like, meth or speed. But, not murder meth or murder speed. Just normal meth and normal speed, where you just get a bit tweaky. Bit tweaky, I can deal with a bunch of people being a bit tweaky. Murder drug, no. Any type of murder drug, not really. Because then they can think that we dosed everybody. I guess I should go back. Then they can think that we've dosed everybody. Right. But we haven't. I mean, we have. But not with what they wanted them to be dosed with. It's not going to have the effect that they want. And this is just going to be good for us in many ways. First of all, they're going to think that we've done the job and we get money. And if we do this well enough, might not come back on us. I'm not going to say it won't come back on us, but it might not come back on us. Second of all, it's going to demoralize them to some degree. They obviously have been thinking about this for at least a week. That's a week worth of time that they have just fucked off with. It is, Third of all, we'll think about something later where we go back and murder some people. That will be fun. But this, I'm not okay with this. This is wrong on many levels. I grew up with the metahumans on the streets, and I am not letting this happen. I am not. You're going to have to fucking knock me unconscious if you want this to happen.
Okay. You seem pretty strong about this. That's fair. That's fair.
But I think that's what we should do.
Okay. Well, we got to figure out need a drug that does that, huh?
I could roll my drug knowledge again.
I was going to say, yeah, would that be something that'd be covered by either your drug knowledge, and then where to buy it would be covered by my underworld drugs knowledge?
Yeah, both of those would be applicable. You could roll them out, see what happens.
Okay. Sweet.
So you guys can think of a couple of drugs. It might be one of those things where to get the exact kind of feels you're looking for, you might have to speedball one or two.
Yeah.
Well, we could use a couple different types, something to increase heart rate and perspiration, something to, maybe make them a little bit excitable. Basically, I mean, cram would probably will give them the excitable part if we just dosed it with cram.
That's basically not a drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically not a drug. The difficulty you guys will come into is the stuff that you have on hand is obviously like water soluble.
Right.
Yeah.
So throwing a bunch of cram, which I like to imagine, and I don't know where I'm getting this, so I might be wrong, as basically like a chewing gum kind of thing or a chewing tobacco.
I thought it was an inhalant.
Let me take a quick look in the old Hero Labs here. Cram.
Not
ingestion
the
inhalation.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, so I guess that could work. Since if it's going to be inhalated, it needs to be something that can go in through your mucous membranes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could buy a shitload of cram and or maybe trade some of this stuff for a shitload of cram. That's a
That is a
that's a thing you could do.
It's not something I would like, but I mean, I'm not made of money, so
Those interesting quandaries we stick you guys in.
yeah. I feel like it would have to be cram and something, because it's basically increased heart rate. Heart rate. It really is just basically increased heart rate and murder, isn't it?
I mean, there's some aggression in there. So to break it down a little bit, you guys had such a um like flash effect from it because you took just the drug straight. If you could imagine it like diluted and slowed down in a beverage that you perhaps drink several of over the course of a couple of minutes, and you get a lot more of that drug mixed up in your system,
And it stays there over a little bit of time.
and it stays there a little longer because it's diluted a little bit. Um,
It yeah.
it may not be like full scale night of rage riots everywhere. Probably a bunch of fistfights with whoever just happens to be around.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
These guys aren't smart enough for full blown crazy
oh
riots
yeah,
everywhere.
definitely. I like the cram idea because I like that it will not have the implications that the other one would have on a game world, sort of. On the world.
Which we don't even know who would end up getting this shipment, to be 100% honest.
No.
They wanted
Might not even be
something
local.
towards the end of the production line, so we could. And nothing, like I said, nothing says we can't do something else to that vat to ensure that it doesn't get damaged or they don't clear it out or something to that effect.
Yeah. Okay. So consensus on what we're doing. Are we going to try murder drug and sabotage? Try cram and not sabotage? How are we as a group feeling here? I lean towards spending a lot of money on kind of a
Substitute.
on I will take I would have a lot of that monetarily, I guess, just because Tilt is very opinionated about that.
Well, I guess that's the question. So what Grog took, do we feel like that's a dose?
If only you had some kind of
I only had a bare
Yeah.
little bit about it.
if only you had some kind of chemistry knowledge skill, or you didn't almost kill the chemist down here.
Whoa, we didn't almost kill the chemist. He
To be
did
fair,
it to himself.
Yeah. he should know better than that.
I mean, I like to feel like I painted a very clear picture of what
he would do.
What he was capable of. I mean, the good news is you saved his life, so I'll probably give him to you guys as a contact.
Well, wonderful. I'm sure he will.
Sweet.
I'm sure him and his totally not murder lab will come in handy at some point.
That's where he sees his patients.
I'm totally sure they are upstanding, breathing individuals. All of the time.
From start to finish.
Definitely. I'm sure he does not have a friend called Dr. Frankenstein.
You didn't even ask his
So we didn't, and you know what? I don't care. In my mind, he is just Igor. His name could be John Smith.
I thought we were calling him Winky Blink.
I mean, he just had
Like
the
that.
eye
That
thing.
works.
On my character sheet, his name's going to be Igor,
Nice.
like open parenthesis, Winky Blink, close parenthesis, just like Tilt's name is Tilt, open parenthesis, Smolder, close parenthesis. I'm okay. Using logic here. He seems to. I'm gonna mitigate this by saying he is a bit of an incompetent dimwit. But I would assume what he took would be a dose of something for someone his size of something of that type of drug. So I'm going to assume that.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, as far as money's concerned, I mean, if we're going to do this with Cram's worth, what, 1/10 of what Kamikaze's worth? So if we want, if we're going to say this is similar to Kamikaze in price and substance and everything like that, so it's really not going to cost that much to replace a shoebox full of this stuff with enough Cram.
True. That's very true. Sell it to some gangers out in the middle of nowhere. That would make me happy.
Yeah.
As they're just going to kill each other anyways.
Or rape and pillage their way across the countryside, which is also totally okay.
I mean, that doesn't bother me. I live in a nice part of town. I mean, might bother you, Mr. Homeless.
Nah.
Not gonna bother me.
As a general rule, when orcs and trolls go on their rape and pillage conquests, a homeless dwarf's not on the top of their list.
It's very true. It's very true.
The rich elf, though.
You're short and feisty.
That's right.
Oh, God. At this point, we should go find somebody to trade 1/10 of that box for a Cram. Which should be easy, because Cram is basically not a drug.
So then we could basically just go to the store and look for it, instead of trying to trade it to somebody who might get back to Humanus, or to the guys who ended up giving this to us.
I mean, you give it to a troll gang, like a meta gang, they're probably not going to go back to Humanus, but you have a point.
It is a restricted substance, so you can't quite just go down to the stuffer shack and buy it. And to try and acquire the amount that you're trying to get, you might have to give it a couple of days for people to make some connections and that kind of thing.
Cool.
I am okay with a couple days.
Do you want to go
That
ahead
gives us
and
time
roll
to
a negotiation test, and we'll see just how much of this stuff you can hold on to?
We're just gonna say that we found somebody?
Well, that was going to come into it, but as this is a plot drug, I figured I would see about how much you can really talk into
Okay.
keeping.
Oh, no, wait. We're not using the drug. We're not trading drug for drug. We're just going to buy the Cram, correct?
Oh, I was gonna trade drug for drug.
Oh, I thought we did not want this on the street where it might harm, hurt, and murder people. You were all up in arms about that like 10 minutes ago.
And it was how much it's going to cost.
Oh, I got it. It's inconvenient for you to murder people until it costs you something. I understand.
No.
Pointy-eared friend.
This is how this one works, right? You give this to normal people. Normal people are going to drink that, and they're going to go to their job, and they're going to beat the shit out of their coworker named Bob, who just talks too goddamn much. You give this to a bunch of crazy fucking nutters that already rape and pillage people. They're already going to rape and pillage people. You're going to upset the status quo a little bit.
But we clearly just saw that if we give this drug to a normal guy, and I'm assuming an elf or a dwarf, it will just straight kill us. That dude's not dead because I was here.
You have your good points.
Grog got angry and wanted to go fight some folks. but he did not die.
True. All right. We will hold on to this for the day where we need a murder drug that's mysterious.
I was going to say, I'm okay with selling the murder drug, but I was just pointing out the logical inconsistency in why you wanted to suddenly sell the murder drug.
I was fine with trading 1/10 of the murder drug to people that are just bad people. Tilt has his own logic. Don't poke fun at Tilt's logic.
No, if you want to go sell drugs on the street corner and you be the judge of who is a bad person, you go right ahead.
I mean, to be fair, his old life was stealing 1 million and change yen from some poor middle manager or something. I mean, he's morally not a very good guy. He just has opinions.
Oh no, it's totally fine.
And this is where we get to. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm good with 7.
So you're buying a shit ton of cram then?
Yeah.
Since we're in Germany, that's actually a metric shit ton.
Oh, he's very true.
Sorry. I had forgotten.
Not a problem.
Oh man, let me think about how much. So 10 doses, $100. Yeah, we're into like.
Yeah.
A million kind of range.
I know. This is why I was gonna do the cheap thing.
I mean, that's up to you. If you
if you want no. Once
to be fair, if I trade the drug, is entirely
it out. If Tilt's like, no, it's cool, we can go sell the drug. Then the dragon's like, I don't give a crap.
If we sell the drug, is now entirely dependent on who we are buying the shit ton of cram from. That is because it is very dependent to Tilt.
So let me ask
where
you this, then.
the murder drug goes.
We'll use some of your hits here. What kind of person would you like to trade murder drug for?
I would.
Two?
I do not know enough about the gangs. It would be a gang member. It would 100% be like a Baron's gang member. It would definitely be a lieutenant or higher in a Baron gang. Preferably one that is known for already being incredibly stupidly violent. And one that hopefully is made mostly of the larger meta types, being orcs and trolls. Those are the conditions that would make Tilt very happy. Could probably strip away a little bit of that.
Yeah, let me see if Twitch I can come up with a name for this gang. But you'll be able to. Are you going through somebody, or are you? Are you doing this kind of on your own?
I actually have a Go Ganger contact. It's a 1-1 contact.
I have a beat cop contact.
I was wondering if this is where my knowledge would step in. I have knowledge underworld with a specialization of drugs.
Sure.
And so that I just rolled that, and I got 4 successes.
Gangs aren't exactly the same as Underworld is more
triad and whatnot.
Triads, yeah, like the more organized crime gangs typically are a little bit more unorganized, for lack of a better thing. You could totally find some organized crime folks that if you wanted to sell it to them, but if you're looking for like a ganger thing, this will be a little bit harder.
I know London street gangs.
I imagine them all as chimney sweeps.
I imagine them as varying levels of violence with the chimney sweeps.
You want to get swept, mate?
I imagine on one end it's just like, you're gonna get swept, mate, and the other end it's just it's just in their teeth, just like this big broom thing in their teeth, and they're just like,
they all have big push broom.
So you're saying it's the big old mustache?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then. you're trying to go through some of your contacts to figure this out, or are you trying to kind of do this on your own a little bit?
I mean, I guess it would be smarter to do this through a contact, as I mean, I don't think I know enough about German gangs to be
Sure.
useful.
Grog, tell me about your ganger contact.
Shanks is his name. He's a medium level ganger, kind of bouncing up and down. He hasn't really, made his big move as of yet, as you were, to try to get himself noticed in the gangs. But he's looking for ways to prove himself. He's a druggie. Just like any other ganger, he is a druggie. He doesn't have a particular drug of choice. He just, whatever can get him that next buzz. And he's up for like smash and grabs.
Okay. So a giant pile of drugs like this could be something he's into.
Yeah, it could be something he's into, and it could possibly get him that step up, if you would.
Do you want to bring this to Tilt's idea?
Yeah, I'll bring it up to Tilt. Like, hey, I might know somebody who might be interested in doing some of this.
That's better than I got, mate.
See if I can get in contact with him. But we're going to need to hit the streets. I'm going to need to get out because he doesn't exactly have a stable comm link, if you get my drift.
Mate, I do. I know the life.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll go rolling about. I'll go looking through the streets, through some of his typical hangouts. Because, I mean, he doesn't really stay in one place type of deal. I think he's more along the lines of what Jurgen is, being homeless.
Poor Jurgen.
Yeah, he's going to be continually picked on.
I mean, he does deserve it for being homeless.
It's true. Except, you guys don't ever know where I live. But if you invite me to your house, then I know where you live.
And he's gonna squat so hard.
As long as he uses toilet paper afterwards.
I didn't even mean like that. I meant just, like.
Oh God.
So yeah, I'll go taking a look around for Shanks. And as his name implies, he does have a fetish for knives.
Oh, wonderful.
Get to meet all kinds of interesting people tonight.
Uh-huh.
So, do they have like turf, or they just kind of run around and do kind of stuff?
They do have a set turf. That's the only reason I really kind of know the general area of where he'll be.
Okay.
It's kind of he belongs to kind of a middle-sized group, a medium-sized gang. It's not like a huge gang, but it's not a just starting off thing. They've been around for a little bit. People know of them. They don't have the best reputation, but they're not some of the hardest going gang that's out there.
Yeah. So you'll be in their turf, and you'll kind of see him at a stuffer shack sitting outside. He's got, 2 other goons with him. You ever see somebody do that obnoxious stuff with the butterfly knives?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing that.
I'm gonna make my way up, and Shanks, when are you gonna learn and do like I told you to do and get a real knife?
He'll spin it around a little bit before pulling it out. I was like, I could cut you. This is real knife, and he kind of points towards one of his friends, almost cutting them, like not paying attention to where they're standing. What you doing around here?
Well, currently I'm laughing at your toothpick. I need to talk with you over here. And I'm going to move away from his friends, in air quotes, towards a more, I won't say secluded, but a secluded portion of the street.
Just bring it around behind the.
Yeah, around the side of the stuffer shack.
Sure. So what you want, man? He's still playing with that goddamn knife.
You still hustling? You still trying to get your hands on some of that next level enhancing chemicals, if you will?
He's gonna look around. It's like, what if I am?
Let's say I have something that might help you, but I need something in exchange. Now let me say from experience, when I say might help you, that's an understatement.
He like stops playing with the knife for a second, just kind of looks at you with like a, huh?
How much cram can you get me?
Shit. I don't know. Lot. How much
Well, take your a lot and add it to my size. I'll give him a basic dimensional box size that I'm filling up and tell him that's about what I need of cram. Now, guys, off character here, guys. We were looking at trading a little bit of this for a little bit of that, for a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
Yes. It all depends on how real Bamce wants to get into how much this would actually cost, because
if you like, I can exchange plot levels of murder drug for plot levels of cram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would we still have the murder drug available to us, or would it be a 1-for-1 ratio?
You would still have about 90% of the murder drug.
Okay, then yeah, I will do that. I'll suggest that. I mean, I don't know how much the weight will be. I'll leave that up to you. But going back to Shanks, I was like, so I need this and I need this like as soon as you can get it. And I don't mean go back to playing with your damn knife, trying to impress your friends over there.
He like points it at you while it's closed up, like.
I'm going to hold my hand up like to where he's pointing it at me. Mm-hmm. And you realize my pinky finger is bigger than that toothpick.
It's not the size. And then he flips it around. It's how you use it. Flips it back around.
So I'll pat him on the head. You made my point for me.
Like, he looks at you like, yeah, man, you give me a couple of days, I can get you what you want. This as good as you say it is.
Shanks, I need it like yesterday, man.
He's like, man, you're asking for a lot for a man that's been around a whole bunch.
I'm not a ghost. You've seen me around here, and you got my number. Obviously, I know where to find you. I look over at the stuffer shack real quick. You ain't changed much. I know you're trying to move to that next level. I'm trying to help you. If you'd rather, I can go talk to my bartender instead. But I don't think he would profit from this as much as you would. You're the one getting hung up on stuff. You're the one that's getting shafted by things that aren't in your control. I'm putting something in your control that you will get up on. This is not a joke.
Look at you, because you're clearly taking this seriously. Like, all right, man, but if this turns out not to be cool, you might have to have a little bit of words. He's totally just trying to sound tough.
I know. I get that feeling. I was like, and I'll be like, and you know what? I wouldn't do you wrong like that.
It's like, yeah, nah, I know you wouldn't.
If this comes back wrong, then somebody used it in a way they wasn't supposed to. Dead straight on that.
He goes to give you a fist bump followed by some kind of gang hand motion things.
I'll just hold my fist out there because I'm not doing the whole gang motion shit.
Yeah, he slaps it a couple of times in weird ways.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like, okay.
This dumb fragger.
Yeah, dumb fragger. And then, like, mental note filed in the back of this Rolodex. I'm gonna talk to my arms dealer contact later, just out of the blue. I want to get a butterfly knife that's big enough for me.
Sure.
So that next time he goes playing around with it, I'm just gonna flip mine twice and like, I told you, get a real one.
I'm just gonna stab him with it. Yeah, no, if you want to just go buy like a combat knife, you can totally do that.
Oh, I already have one of those.
I mean, if
I
you
just
want,
didn't.
you could make it a thing. What else? Let me ask, as it is coming on to midnight here at this moment. Anything else you guys want to do? What do you have a guy that's gonna get you some cram in a couple of days?
I think that's. I mean, until we get the cram,
I mean,
we can go
Scope the-
scout the brewery. But
yeah, we can do legwork.
yeah,
We love legwork.
yeah, we
It's
can
our
go scout.
favorite thing.
We can just go hang out outside the brewery, see
I
what kind
mean-
of security they have, scope out all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. You guys just gonna give it a drive-by, or?
Matrix search for their brewery on the Matrix.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where it's located.
I mean, I was gonna go more for like, do they do? Look at our cheap shitty beer. Come have a taste. See how we make our cheap shitty beer.
So you can
It's
I was
all
gonna-
robots.
about a couple of things about their cheap shitty beer just off the Matrix. Most of the advertisement is pointed towards trolls and orcs.
Okay.
The location in question is not like a come and take a tour place. It is just kind of like a production place with efficient levels of staffing. Like, it's a lot of automation, but there is still a handful of employees.
Okay. So
Where's the locate? Where is it located? Is it in like a nice part of town? Is it in the crappy part of town? Is it in like the industrial part of town, but like super bad? Like
Industrial part of time. It's not like a bad area. It's just kind of like here's a brewery and here's another warehouse and here's other things where places where stuff is constructed or made.
okay,
I would assume foot traffic is or just traffic is basically just like, I'm here because I'm paid to be here, which is relatively low, which
I mean,
is good.
It's not a great job because you're not exactly making a high quality product.
Yeah.
The higher ups probably get paid decently, but the people who actually like operate the drones to move pallets and kegs around, that kind of thing.
Okay. Hmm. Is it deep enough in the industrial district that if we did a couple drive-bys, it would be noticeably weird that there's like an AmeriCard just kind of like in the neighborhood? Or is it kind of like
you have a couple of days before you get to the point like where Shanks has accumulated enough cram to do what you want to do.
yeah.
So you could go by a couple of times over the next few days.
What's the
Yeah.
homeless situation down in the industrial part of town? Like, if I just started hanging out down there, would it be out of place?
Do you attempt that? Because
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're going to do a drive-by in the Americar,
sure,
that's what I'd be looking
let's
out
do
for.
a perception test your first drive-by, because that's obviously something you're gonna do.
I should memorize these. I really should.
What's that?
Like my visual perception and stuff. I keep having to look for it, and it's awkward. Or just normal perception.
So you don't see any homeless bros around. You do see plenty of good homeless bro turf, but
Okay.
Unoccupied. You're like, man, that is prime.
What about the German equivalent of Lone Star? Like people who would roust the homeless people out of the area.
There's a little bit of like on-site security. Imagine it broken up into a couple of different industrial parks, where
Sure.
like this one has a couple of large buildings, this one has a couple others, and they have their own little like security services.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll talk it over with the group and be like, hey, look, I mean, I don't see any homeless people out here, but this place isn't exactly, it wouldn't be like me trying to hang out in the alley next to the Ritz. So,
So
Yeah.
you're wanting to try some surveillance on your own?
yeah, I could just come, just wander down. I mean, worst comes to worst, they kick me out and tell me to go, go somewhere else.
Just don't look like you're scoping a place out, mate.
Ah, I know what I'm about.
Yeah.
I'll come like after we get back. I'll make my way back here on my own, so I'm not being dropped off in your fancy upscale America.
It's basically an apartment for you.
I know, right? Like
Yeah.
one day he's gonna come outside and I'm gonna be like in the back, like, hey, what's up? Like drying my knickers, hanging up from the trunk of his car.
Beautiful.
Definitely.
I can see it happening, and that's what makes it worse. I look for security, but I'm shit at looking at things.
Yeah.
I maybe see security cameras. I assume is how that one
Yep,
generally goes down.
it's more or less what you would expect. There's a bunch of security cameras, but they're not like excessive.
It's a brewery. It's not, secret technological facility masquerading as a brewery.
Yeah, like
They make beer.
there are cameras there so that you can say that you have security cameras, but not exactly like a.
Their security camera is good enough to keep Jurgen from going in and sneaking and drinking all the beer.
I mean, he would probably not survive that.
I can be invisible. Trust me, I can make it.
I mean, I'm sure at some point you get so drunk that you pass out and your invisibility fades.
Possibly. But the point is, I made it inside. That's the point.
Yeah. I could get in contact with my dry cleaning person and see if I could get some boiler suits that are the color of the workers once we find out what that is. As in my head, all brewery workers wear boiler suits. It's just standard. Obviously.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's just how it is.
All brewery workers, I assume, are just like Laverne and Shirley.
Nice.
Fun fact, if you Google brewery, they don't apparently hire people to be in breweries, just shit tons of vats. It's
Yep.
just that's just how it is.
Lots of vets and
No people, just vats.
That is a
a
fact.
couple of people to move stuff around, and probably a what call it? Some like master brewer taster guy.
Oh,
I was gonna
oh,
say, like
other person.
I was gonna say, fun fact from my real life is I remember in middle school we went on a tour of a brewery.
Oh, you had it much better.
Yeah, not even kidding. Like we went, like it was like a field trip. We took we took out on the bus, went down to the brewery, did a tour around the brewery. It was awesome.
In middle school, for me, we went to the local sand refinery. We made
Nice.
shitty sandcastle. That was yours is much more fun. I played on a 10-foot hill of sand.
I mean, that sounds kind
That
of
had
fun
to have been
too.
illegal.
That had to have been illegal.
It's just rolling hills of just like this super white sand dredged up from the bottom of a lake or something. And they're just like, we're gonna have kids here today. Just don't drive the big things over to the sand hills. Remember, everybody that works an industrial job wears a boiler suit. That's where I got that one from.
So
But yeah,
yeah, your dry cleaning contact probably not able to help you too much getting a like who that works in boiler suits really goes and gets that stuff dry cleaned.
Fair enough.
I mean,
However, if you Google brewery worker, it turns out bibballs seem to be quite the accoutrement.
I mean, it's the
I
kind of
could-
you could go to like. I just bought a bunch of chef pants off Amazon the other day. They were like $15 a head. They'll be here
Yeah.
in 3 days.
I mean, they're boiler suits. It's boiler suit.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say you're wrong because I have opinions otherwise, but they're so niche, you're not actually wrong. I just live in a weird place.
You do like here we come back to the conversation about professional furries.
Yeah, I mean, I really shouldn't bring my personal opinions in this because I live in Wonderland. So
You are the outlier.
we have to just assume a slightly more competence for me because of where I grew up. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, there might not even be a uniform. Who knows? It could just be t-shirts and cargo pants, because that's the 2 pictures I found on Google for people that work in a brewery.
I am finding tons of flannel and overalls.
See, is that for normal, or is that for like craft beer? Because they
I
have
have
image
no
they have to keep
idea.
up.
I know, right?
See, I gotta say, being in San Diego, one of the largest, meccas for the breweries that have been popping up as of late, the people that I've seen that work around that kind of place and do all the sampling stuff are in regular jeans and t-shirts. But that's once again just down here.
I mean, I'm perfectly happy to go either way with the boiler suit. Like, you guys are able to find something that is appropriate for them to be wearing.
Plot. We'll plot it. It's plot. We find plot suits. But I'm not breaking in there yet. That's just not happening. I don't know how we feel for time, because I feel like, I don't know, it's midnight for me.
Yeah, I'm getting
I
a
could
little
keep
on the
going.
tired side. But
No,
I
we can.
I don't want to push
this,
through.
I was gonna say this feels like a good stopping point. Like,
Yeah.
That's a great wrap-up point. We got the drug. We're working on getting the other drug. We're scoping the joint out.
yeah,
Yeah.
We've made progress.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, this is why I bring it up. I feel like we had a discussion about people in breweries. I felt like we reached a natural pause point.
not a problem.
I'm talking a lot. I'm going to shut up
No.
now.
you're fine. It's okay.
You're fine, dude.
I am having an immense amount of fun looking at stock photos that evidently exist of brewery workers.
All right, you do
So,
you, man. Whatever
yeah,
whatever floats your boat.
I just Googled it and I just kind of went down that Google hole and here I
Yeah.
am hanging out with like scientist looking people with like beakers and shit, evidently that work in a brewery.
It's all. Oh wow, you're right. If I just add worker to brewery, I get a completely different.
Yes,
Everyone
you do.
smiles. Everyone smiles.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry for ruining your stream there, Bamps. We
It's all right.
that was all. That was me at least 3 different times tonight. So
Nah, it's completely fine. Um, it'll be interesting watching you guys try to explain this to certain folks next week. Like, hey, Tara, we need your help to be terrorists.
Though to be fair, right? That's actually really easy to explain to him because it's him. He's already in the mindset since character creation, but not
True.
really.
We're just gonna enhance his natural calling to it.
Yeah, we're just gonna be like, when you were joking around saying that, now you are. Just jump on board. We're totally good people. Totally doing this for reasons. This isn't gonna backfire at all.
I mean,
it'll be
it
fun.
could do any number of things. I gave you guys an opportunity, and you guys have dove on it quite expertly.
Well, you see, Charlie left, so Tilt had to jump on the dangling
Something.
keys. That's just what Tilt has to do now. I had to pick it up because he's obviously the only person stupid enough to try to steal a bunch of murder drugs.
Yeah, no, it's definitely couldn't come back to haunt you in any kind of way.
Oh no, definitely not. I just don't see how it
Not
could
in a
happen.
way
This is a
that'll
totally normal thing to
matter.
happen. Tilt's totally not going to turn up dead in an alley somewhere.
Yeah. All right then, guys.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I look forward
Most
to
definitely.
interesting things that will happen because of this, and
Yeah.
see where they go next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't being
Sounds
a
great.
Shadowrunner great? You can do all kinds of wonderful things.
I'm enjoying it.
This is the most fun I've had in a while.
Good.
All right. Hey, Bamps, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I appreciate
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
I will
appreciate the game.
Yep. I will talk to you guys throughout the course of the week.
you. Yep.
Sounds
and
good.
hopefully we find out what's
Yes.
going on with Mike
People.
and Chat Rat and everybody
Yep.
else. So, yeah.
Yeah.
If not, there
Why-
will be.
it says Chat Rat's in here now.
Well, he's still in the Skype call. He's just not on the call.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
All right, guys. I will talk to
Right.
you